Dr. Josiah Bartlett of Kingston, New Hampshire, was one of three men from New Hampshire who signed the Declaration of Independence. The other two were Dr. Matthew Thornton and Captain William Whipple. In the election of 1790, Josiah Bartlett also went on to become president of New Hampshire, and he was elected by a huge majority. Very popular, went on to win the presidency a second time and a third time as well. But in this third election, the title had changed from president to governor, and in fact, Dr. Bartlett was the first governor elected under that title. You say, who was the first governor of New Hampshire? He was. The others were presidents. However, here in the town of Warner, Dr. Bartlett did not receive one single vote, and that was odd because three of the governor's brothers, Levi, Joseph, and Simeon, they were among the first to settle here in Warner. Levi Bartlett was, the town history tells us, became insane, and he died in a house fire. And his brother Joseph named his son after this brother that died in the fire, and this Levi became one of the leading citizens here. The man was a farmer, a storekeeper in the lower village, taught school. He was a selectman, town clerk, representative to the general court, and a justice of the peace. He even on occasion performed marriage ceremonies. And in one of these ceremonies, Squire Bartlett made union of a local character. Guy was called High Amblecord, and he married the widow Ash, whom the wags in town called Ash Beetle for some reason. They made fun of these people. Neither party could read or write, but they appeared to be in love, and so they were married. But the union was not a good one, and within a week the parties agreed the marriage had been a mistake. They moved to separate domiciles, and the widow Ash then petitioned Squire Bartlett for a divorce. Her husband did too. And the squire provided a paper to the groom, which he said was a legal separation, a legal document. But on the paper was just a poem that read, High Amblecord got into a needle and swore he'd not live with the widow Ash Beetle. And the widow Ash Beetle swore by her God she never would sleep with High Amblecord. Signed, J. Bartlett, Justice of the Peace. The town history relates this story as a comedy. We're supposed to laugh at this, two unfortunate people, but it seems to me a pretty cruel and tasteless bit of comedy. And I still don't know why no one in town cast a vote for Squire Bartlett's uncle.